Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays.
Welcome to episode 4 of the He's on Fire After Dark show.
He's on fire!
With me, as always, Amit. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
Doing all right. Yeah, just real quick before we bring on our special guest, I got our last episode, people noticed my tattoo here. And they're like, "Oh, Jason's tatted up," and I just got it recently. Okay, I just started becoming a rebel, So, yeah, it's just a new traditional dog, nothing too crazy. Yeah, let's bring in our special guest today. He has a really popular basketball channel, also a Phoenix Suns fan, but unfortunately, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. That comes with its shortcomings alone. But yeah, let's bring him on. SpexMedia. Specs, how you doing, man?
Hey man, you didn't have to do me like that. No, I'm doing pretty good though. I've been doing very good lately.
Man, that's good. And I saw you took a break on your YouTube channel for a while, and I don't blame you. A lot of things were happening, and just lack of basketball content. So I didn't it sucked not seeing your content for a little bit, but I'm glad you're back pushing it out. With your content, it definitely deserves.
He's on fire.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that break definitely helped me recharge, and I got so many ideas and things I cannot wait for people to see that are currently in production right now.
Man, I'm glad to hear that, man. And if you guys don't know who SpexMedia is, I highly recommend his channel. He is great. He's been on on the regular podcast a couple times. When we closed out the Pelicans, he was there for the live stream, and then he was on an episode before. So he's definitely part of our He's on Fire family. So we appreciate having him here. But how's everybody's week been going? Amit, how was your week?
I had a tough week, man. Work was tough because we got really busy, and then on top of that, I got food poisoning or something's wrong.
Man.
So I missed a day of work, and I was just in bed. That's when I was able to watch the finale of Obi-Wan, even though I watched it during the day. And I feel like if you watch the most important scene of that movie, you can't watch it in the day because it's so dark. And if you don't have blackout shades, you're just missing a lot of stuff. So I probably have to go watch it in the dark. But life is what it is, and then we know what happened at the end of the week. So I think we'll talk about it. But it was an okay week.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting week, to say the least, especially with what happened. What was it, yesterday that happened? I have a terrible memory, so yeah. But other than that, yeah, it's been just pretty good. Yeah,
it's been a crazy week for me. I just started a new job, so going through training sucks and all that. But I have experience in this field, so it's not going to last too long with the training and stuff. But God, it feels like the first week of school. You're just going through the syllabus, and then getting to know everybody's names, and then just a days drag on. So it's this whole fucking thing, and I want to blow my brains out. But
wait, what do you work as?
So I do pest control. This is the second company I'm doing it for. So if anyone in Arizona, relatively young or old, it doesn't really matter. If you're looking for a job that is always going to have work, go to pest control. It pays pretty well, and if you get certain licensing for certain companies, you can get paid pretty good. So that's definitely a good career to get into. Amit, has anything happened with your kids this week? Before you get into it, I want to address any parents here. I'm just learning this. If you have a tile home, make sure you put your kid in a playpen before you mop or you do anything slippery on the floor, because my daughter ran around the corner right when I mopped, and she busted her lip, bleeding everywhere. And so she's just had like, it looks like she has a cleft lip. Like it's looked bad for the last like 3-4 days, but the swelling's finally gone down, but it's been ugly on her. But tell me how dad life has been with you.
To what you just said, like, so these kids are really resilient. Like when they get beat up, like they cry really hard, and it's so emotional for them because they never experienced any pain like that. I remember my son, like he slipped on a piece of paper in our kitchen, and that, like, it was like the worst ACL tear that you'd ever seen in a UFC fight, in a basketball game, in a football game. Like the way his knee bent around and he just flipped over on it, and it was nothing for him. And like it was like, but if that was anybody else in the world,
we're out.
Like you couldn't rewatch it. Like there's no way you could rewatch it. You know what I mean? It was just like one of those things where, but they're so resilient. They pull through. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's tough when they cry and they get like, you know, like a bruise or a cut or whatever, and then like 2 weeks later, like, where's the cut? Like there's no cut now. Or like where's, you know, like there's just kids are just so resilient, not like us. But yeah, man, I mean, so our son, we put him in so his summer started, so he went from kindergarten to first grade. Now he's in day camp at the YMCA. And bro, it's totally different than his school, because his school is like no nuts, can't bring nuts to school. Here's like no nut, you can bring anything you want. There it's like, I don't know who the teachers are, I don't know what's going on. On Friday, like my sister-in-law picked my son up. I said, you know, she's on the emergency contact list, like, do you need her ID or whatever? She just showed up and picked him up. Like they didn't even ask any questions. I'm like, okay, that's not right.
Yeah, that you should definitely do something about that.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so it was just like the whole thing is just a different, you know, different type of environment than a school. But I mean, I guess we can get into it, man. I mean, it's like crazy that like we both have daughters, and having a son where I have to worry about like somebody showing up at a school with a gun, and then my daughter doesn't have any rights at the same time, right? Like I don't know what her future is going to look like. It's just the whole thing is just messed all around.
Yeah, it's like yesterday was like, I hate to say it, but it didn't surprise me, because we keep on doing this. We take 2 steps forward or 3 steps back, and it's been like that through the whole history of our country, especially when it comes down to the Constitution and whatever. It's crazy how guns and gun rights have a lot more freedom and leverage than women or certain ethnic groups or the minority or the poor. It's like you said, both you and I have daughters and stuff, and like if down the line my daughter is put in a situation where she's pregnant at a young age, or she didn't want to be pregnant and doesn't have any desires to be pregnant, now she's going to be forced to have a kid. And statistically, when it comes to abortion, if you outlaw it, doesn't slow down the production of abortion. Or women die. And so like, it's not a bittersweet, it's just completely like fucked up, you know? And we have these out of touch conservative using Christianity as sort of like a cover for their bad decision making and stuff. I know some wholehearted Christians that are pro-life, but they allow people to be pro-choice and without judging. And I feel like a lot of people are disconnected from that sort of realm. So it's very frustrating when we have a straight retirement age men and a couple women that are deciding on just a basic human right that women have of deciding if they want a child or not. And now they just completely took out half of that equation, not being forced, regardless of situation, if it was incest or rape or just unwanted pregnancy. It's like it's just sad. Now I have a daughter, and that's like when I saw all that stuff yesterday, I was just thinking about her constantly. So,
I mean, they're really like opposing, or they're imposing their religious views on us, right? Like.
Oh, that's me. I'm a special guest, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I was answering your question.
No,
I was answering your question. Who's special guest? I'll talk after you are done, because I have a certain perspective on it.
So, no problem, dude. No, like my issue is like this. Like, look, if you have to get an abortion, it's not a happy thing. It's not like a going to Target. It is for a woman, and I know several women in my life that have had miscarriages and abortions. And it's not an easy thing to go through for a woman. The man doesn't have to do shit. We don't do anything. We just, we're there, right? That's it. And depending on what happens, like it can impact your ability to have kids in the future. And women still sometimes have to make that choice to do it because of like circumstances, right? And so it's not an easy thing to do. And just to think that like, oh, well, this is just like, oh, it's like buying a gun or something, right? Like, oh, like let's compare. Like, oh, like I just want to own a gun. Well, no, it's not that simple. Like there's a lot of things that go into that decision making to get an abortion. It's not a fun thing to do. And you can be anti-abortion, meaning like, I guess what I'm saying is you can be pro-life and be like, I don't want, life to die. And you can also be pro-women and pro-life or pro-body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pro-body for women. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. Like I think they go hand in hand, and I really think that like the way that this country looks at it is not like the way that other countries look at it. And like if you look in Europe, they provide like subsidies, or they provide like government assistance with all that stuff, and we don't do any of that.
Maternity leave, mandatory.
Yeah,
like the U.S. is like one of like I think the only major nation that doesn't have mandatory maternity leave.
Yeah.
Or
it's not mandatory.
No, it's not.
What the hell?
It's a company basis.
It depends on the state.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'm lucky that I live in California, where they give you 6 weeks as a parent to bond with your child. But there's a lot of states that don't even provide, like they might give you like 3 weeks. You know what I mean? And that's not enough time with a baby.
I had to save my vacation, my 2 weeks, for my my kid's birth and me being there. I didn't have paternity leave.
Yeah, I didn't either. The company that I worked for when my daughter was born, I had not been there for a year, so you have to be there a year of service to get your paternity or your paternity leave. So basically, she was born Memorial Day weekend, and then I basically took that weekend off, or obviously I was off for that weekend, and then I took those 4 days, the rest of the week, as vacation time, and I was back at work the next day on that Monday.
Before you go,
and imagine it.
This is exactly right. So this is my spouse, actually. This is my lovely one right here. Nice. She had to switch jobs to get paid for maternity leave, and that was she had to switch call center jobs so she can get that for our sake and for her sake. So, wow. It's ridiculous here. But did you have anything to add, Specs?
I will say this, I'm at a very young age, obviously. I'm not planning to have children very soon, which is understandable. But I said this, I think, yesterday, but it's kind of scary to, like, have a daughter now with everything that's going on. And, like, even, like, a son, because, with all the gun stuff going on. Whether you're pro-life or pro-choice, I think that's how you word it, I'm not sure. But whether you're for or against abortions, I don't think that should be the question. I've had people argue with me, be like, oh, like abortion should be a thing or they shouldn't be a thing. I don't think that's a choice that a man should make. I think that genuinely should be what a woman wants. If she wants to get it, cool. If she doesn't, like, she doesn't have to. But I don't agree with what they did. And it's just crazy how those people, the Supreme Court, were able to basically make that decision. like 9 old ass people that are clearly out of touch. And the problem is I've seen people like, oh, like certain celebrities, influencers, whatever should use their platform. But the problem is that that platform really won't do anything at the end of the day when the Supreme Court wants to make that decision. Like there's really nothing you can do about it. Like it really does suck. And luckily I'm in a position, I hope to be in a position where I don't necessarily like have to be at a job where I have to like take time off so I can just like always be with my kid. But some people don't have that. So some people like to the maternity leave thing you guys were talking about, like I don't know, it's just crazy what's going on. I don't have that many words to say about it, honestly. Like it's just crazy as hell to me.
Yeah, I mean in Europe, like you get 6 months. Like men and women get 6 months. Sometimes they get a year, depending on the country, depending on the company, whatever it is. There's not a lot of companies in the U.S. that offer that kind of rights or that kind of like privilege. So it you know, like and the fact that we don't have like universal health care for everybody. So like you're forcing women to have kids, then there's no universal health care to support them. And then on top of that, you know, like we have all like you send them to school and they're not safe. I mean, it just a lot of things are wrong with this country. We know that. I don't know, man. I mean, I think that's it's just. But I'll say this. I know that this will really magnify like what a lot of these politicians that we know that actually have something to do. You know, the AOCs, the Bernies, like those guys are that aren't part of the system, like that aren't taking in the money, like they're going to do something about this. And I think we just need to really follow their lead and see what they say and follow them in terms of like what we can do. Because like I tweeted out, I'm like, we should just, you know, we got to wait till November and vote. But I think that their consensus, like there's a lot of stuff you can do in between now and then. And if you're really passionate about this and you really care about the future of this country, then we should get active now. And there was a lot of protests, you know, over the weekend or even on Friday. And, you know, we just gotta follow the lead of the people that can really make a difference.
Yeah. Like it, like to be an American citizen, it's like when it comes to voting, like I know more often than not, it feels like your vote doesn't contribute anything, and a lot of times I felt that way. Considering, you know, where I live in Arizona, it's borderline swing / red state, and it just feels like I'm not really adding anything to the fire. But like when it comes to stuff like this, like first it's gonna start with this abortion thing. Then it's going to get into the pharmaceutical side of things of birth control and then birth control, IUDs, and those chips that they put in you too. And then it's going to get into you know, like condoms and vasectomies, and it's going to get into the gay community as well. Like this is sort of the first sort of catalyst that's going to start branching off into different things, how the Supreme Court is going to be able to rule things out and kind of work backwards in a sense when it comes to progressiveness in our country. And it just sucks, man. It's like I hate keeping up with politics because I just get sad. Like it's disheartening. There's nothing positive that comes out of it. And, you know, it's like it doesn't come down to the president at the end of the day. It comes down to these House of Representative people. It comes down to the Senate. It comes down to the Supreme Court judges. And like the president is just the mascot of the country, just to show face. I guarantee, you know, like Ahmed, I can ask you, like you're a pretty well-read guy. Name 2 current Supreme Court judges without saying Brett Kavanaugh.
Fuck.
Sotomayor.
Yeah.
And without Kavanaugh, I mean, I have to take the what's her Amy Coney Barrett. I mean,
See,
which both with Kavanaugh and I mean, okay, we shouldn't. I mean, we could go in too far into it, but yeah, they both lied, right? And they both lied when they said that this was settled law. Now they changed the law and they voted against it. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that the progressive people in this country, not the established Democrats, the progressive people in this country, most of the people in this country are like, this shit is fucked up. We have to do something about it. It's not just about voting. It's about, you know, and it is about voting because those local elections matter now more than they ever do. Because if you're leaving it to states, then I need my Arizona folks, and I'm no longer an Arizona resident. I can't vote there anymore. I stayed that way just to have my vote matter, but because of like what do you call it, jury summons, I couldn't do it anymore, so I had to switch to California because they're summons me, and I'm like, dude, I can't do it, and they're like, if you don't show up, you go to jail. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to switch to California, but. You know, what my point is that like in states like Arizona, like everybody needs to show up and show out. Like, let's just represent, you know what I mean? And show them, and not just in the vote, but just in strikes and protests and other things, boycotts, to be like, look, like as a majority, we don't care. Like whatever they're saying in this Supreme Court, which does not represent everyone. And I know Phoenix has gotten way more progressive over the time that I've been there, from a child to now. Like there's so many opportunities. I really want to see like Texas turn blue, and I really think that Texas is going to turn blue by 2024.
I mean, just Austin alone, just how progressive Austin is just expanding outside of that. So, my closing thought with that was beautifully said, Amit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That my girlfriend, like when we were talking about this yesterday, she said, "I'll be damned if I have Brett Kavanaugh decide what to do with my body." And if you don't know about Brett Kavanaugh, just do a little bit of research. John Oliver put together a whole sort of last week tonight episode about Brett Kavanaugh a couple of years ago, 1 or 2 years ago. He cries over calendars and he just thinks he's God. So it's like the world is messed up right now. Inflation is crazy. Gas prices are wild right now. How much is it where you are, Amit?
I seen $7 in places.
It's
God damn.
It's at $5.70 right now.
Now, see, I'm lucky because I'm just about to get my license, so I don't have to deal with gas prices until a while. So hopefully they somewhat go down in these upcoming months. But I'm lucky so because I've seen these prices; those are crazy. That wow.
Yeah,
dude, you're
lucky.
The fact that
you
don't have your license yet. I
procrastinated getting it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of procrastinated getting it, but
doesn't matter,
you don't need it. You don't need it.
I'm not. No, I literally thought about investing like a skateboard or something. But to be fair, I also don't go anywhere 99% of the time, so that's perfect right now.
Dude, that's just wild, bro. I can't believe I'm talking to somebody that doesn't have their license.
And
the fact is, I have like my mother-in-law like barely has a driver's license. My father-in-law doesn't. Like I have people in my life, old people that do not drive, but to have somebody your age is awesome.
I mean, I kind of procrastinated doing because I was supposed to, and then all the COVID stuff started happening, so that was terrible timing. But now I'm currently in the midst of getting it right now. But
my mom made me get one just so I can start working because I was just sitting around the house too much. So I forcefully had to get my license. So that's crazy how you don't have one. But if you don't need it, you don't need it. But so let's get off the sad shit and let's just move on.
It's after hours. Let's be positive.
Yeah, it's after hours. Let's be positive. It's not fun being sad in the dark, but let's move on to some sports stuff that's going on right now. Specs, he's in the sports world, if you don't know, and look at his profile picture because his webcam is broken. But
yes,
our really a figure that's on our thumbnail. And first, let's just start with the state of the Suns right now. All of us, well, I didn't watch the draft, but we kept up with the draft.
I watched a little bit, like the first round. That's about it.
I watched zero. I had zero. So it's
not
interesting because, like, that's the thing, right? Like, remember, like all those years when we had lottery picks and we were like, doing all these draft lottery, like just looking up guys, and being like watching YouTube videos, and be like, okay, that's the dude, whatever, right? Like we all thought Josh Jackson could be something, or Archie Goodwin could be something.
Oh my God, Josh Jackson. That still makes me mad to
who's
this
worse,
day.
Archie Goodwin or Josh Jackson?
Is there a two-way tie? Is there a two-way? Because Jackson was supposed to be that guy. Like we could have had, I think, De'Aaron Fox, but to be fair, we wouldn't have gotten Chris Paul. So I guess it's the failures were good because they led to success. But still, like Josh Jackson, really in that draft.
Well, I don't know if you guys know the story why we ended up with him. So basically, he wouldn't take a practice with the Celtics. The Celtics were high on him, and he didn't practice with them.
No way.
And you guys know this. I'm sure you guys seen the videos with Jason Tatum where he said he wanted to play in Phoenix.
Yeah, I saw that.
So imagine that situation flipped now, right?
Oh my Lord.
So Josh Jackson did not, and the reason that Josh Jackson didn't do that is because our favorite GM, Ryan McDonough, told him to just tell them you don't want to practice there because we're going to draft you.
Jesus.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it worked out in the end because I don't even know where Josh Jackson's playing right now. So
he's on the Pistons right now.
Oh yeah, that's amazing for him.
Yeah.
Now playing for the Pistons is crazy.
Yeah.
But what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say he could be playing with Ayton. But
oh yeah. or he could be playing for the Kings. That'd be way worse, but you never know.
He was on the Kings. So.
Oh my God, he was. I forgot about that.
So our main host of our regular podcast, Evan, he has a certain view how the draft goes. If you're pick number 1, you need to be the number 1 guy, and I'm not on that board on that boat at all. Like you can literally pick anyone at 1. Like I feel like in the KD Greg Oden draft, I feel like a majority did pick Greg Oden to be that guy, but injury riddled and his body just gave out on him. And KD, what was he, like the 3rd pick?
Second.
Second, yeah, he went right after Oden.
Yeah, he went second then. You can pick anyone as second, and it doesn't really make a difference. I feel like Booker, he was picked 7, right?
No, 13th. Lucky 13th.
13th, and the dude is all NBA, and everybody else in that draft, Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo.
Kaminsky was in there. It was a really big class.
Kelly Oubre was in that.
Yeah, Campaign was also in that draft. Yeah. I literally did a video, so I literally knew these guys on the top of my head. I cannot remember them right now, but yeah, there was a lot of guys I think are still in the league right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically my point is that the draft doesn't matter. What matters is the situation that you're put in. That's why I think Steph Curry was able to flourish the way that he did. I feel like if LeBron was actually drafted to Detroit instead of the hometown, he'll probably have 6 rings right now. But that's only speculation. It's all about the situation that you're drafted into. So James Jones, he didn't make any moves. I assumed this. I didn't think anything was going to go down that night, anything spontaneous or anything. A lot of people were killing James Jones. A lot of people were killing Monty. People hop back on the DA bandwagon right now. Suns Twitter is basically spread so thin that you really can't play both sides if you tried. On Thursday, were you guys surprised at all that we didn't do anything? Because I honestly wasn't. You guys go ahead.
I was not expecting anything to happen. I mean, unless they made the big move at that point, which tells me a lot because I feel like and this is maybe I'm hopeful in this point. I think we're going to end up with Ayton, which I want to end up with Ayton, and hopefully not at the expense of Cam Johnson or anybody else, because I feel like let's just wait longer on with the guys that are expiring to see what happens, in the remaining offseason or the regular season before the trade deadline to see what to do with those guys. But yeah, I'm glad we didn't do anything. Because I think it would have been really stupid. Like if you package Ayton into like a lottery pick trade and then get back some other like superstar player. I mean, it just puts it. I think James Jones has set this team up perfectly in the sense that he has a ton of youth and a ton of guys on really good contracts for the most part. And the idea is that we can just kind of move parts around and keep this train moving around Booker and Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson for the most part. And then DeAndre Ayton is that wild card where we're like, well, how does he fit in, right? And given what's happened in the last two playoffs with Chris Paul, and I've already said this before, I mean, I'm like, he's not the second guy or the first guy anymore. He has to be the third guy now. He has to be the third guy in a playoff series when it comes to winning a game. And obviously he's overpaid in a third person role, but like he can still make big shots in the fourth quarter if he's healthy. And we got to keep him healthy all the way through the playoffs.
Honestly, I was so confused with the James Jones hate because I thought it was about DA, and then I looked more into him like, wait, people are mad about the draft. Like, honestly, where would we have like traded up to? Like the lottery? Like,
yeah, I mean, you're taking on another developmental player that doesn't fit with this roster at this point.
An unestablished lower class draft, like
there was go ahead.
Until like literally the night of. So
there was no reason to trade up. Like there was nothing we could have gained from that we are not going to get in a possible Kevin Durant or other superstar trade or whatever. Even if we got like some decent role player, like there's no guarantee we get someone good when we trade up. And also would have depended like, what are we giving up? Are we giving up some picks? Are we giving up some key role players that could be used in a later trade? Like there was no reason to trade up. And I kind of said, like, I don't remember how I worded it exactly, but I was like, wait, so we go from a team that is the worst team in the NBA other than the Kings for millions of years. And then like 2 years later, the first year Chris Paul gets here, win a championship. We're finals bound this year. We were like so close. And now we're mad at James Jones, calling him like this terrible, what are people talking about? Like that's crazy to me that people were turning on James Jones and Monty like that. Like I don't get it.
It's just like people want to finger point right now. Like there's a lot of stuff in the wind right now that we're about to address, but literally like what you said, Specs, James Jones has gotten nothing but dubs. If that Aaron Gordon situation is making you act this way of not acquiring him at the trade deadline, I don't know what to tell you. I feel like you were skeptical of James Jones to begin with. Again, Eric Gordon, he's an old dude. He doesn't really have an injury past or anything like that, but he wanted to hang on to the pick. He wanted to see what we can do with it. And all James Jones have shown through his whole reign so far is that he's a very calculated guy, and he wants in-house building and establish before they start outsourcing. And he's going to start weaving some people out, and that might be DA, that might be Jay, that might be Campaign, but he's a very calculated guy, and I'm like, there's no reason to be mad at James Jones right now. His job is to put together the roster, to give to Monty, and make it work. And he did
make one mistake though, and that was Jalen Smith. Like,
man, don't even get me started on that.
So he basically took the best fit for the need that the team had. If he would have taken the best player, it would have been Halliburton.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, that's where he made a mistake. I mean, everything else he's done has been actually really brilliant, totally brilliant. So I guess the second mistake would have been trading Jalen Smith for
Torrey Craig,
which that didn't work out, and now we're stuck with him. But he's an expiring another $5 million.
I blame Suns fans for that though. I low-key blame Celtics.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so happy when that happened. I didn't even care who he gave up. Like y'all have no idea. Like I have an emotional attachment to Torrey Craig. I don't know why, but I was so happy when that happened. Also, I don't know how many people know this, but I have a hate for Jalen Smith. I don't know why, but it's like something I've always had. So that was like the greatest trade of my life seeing that. But yeah, no, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's the thing. Like he, Jalen Smith didn't fit with, like, we thought he could be a small ball 5, but he's really just a 5. Like, that's all he is. He wants to protect the rim. His instincts are to stay around the rim. He's not going to go out and try and like defend out there, even though he can. So, and that's why we went and got Torrey Craig, and we thought, okay, like we're going to get what we got last year. We're going to get that value, not the value, but the alley-oop that he got from Campaign, right? Like the most signature play maybe of that entire Nugget series. In my opinion, it was. That was my favorite play that entire series. But yeah, I mean, Torrey Craig, he didn't produce. We had a lot of guys that didn't produce though.
Right.
And one of those guys is Chris Paul, and that's where like my concern is not about like Campaign and Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton. I'm concerned about Chris Paul.
Yeah, like you said, a lot of guys didn't show up. A lot of guys didn't step up to the plate. Torrey Craig never found his rhythm. As soon as Cam Johnson came back from injury, from his game-winning Knicks shot, he just wasn't the same. Mikal was very bipolar, very off and on, and like the most consistent guy was DA through that whole playoff stretch.
Yeah,
and it sucks that we're put in this position, because if we would have won the chip this year, this would have been an easier conversation to have. It was to give DA the max, ship out some of the players, ship out Jay with the ring, ship out some of the role players maybe in a collection deal to acquire somebody. This would have been an easier conversation to have, but since we shit the bed, we can't have that nice discussion. Now we're talking about like who is off limits. Specs, I'm gonna ask you this: who is non-negotiable, not on the table to trade?
Devin Booker for one, but I think that's kind of universally known.
Yeah.
And honestly, I really do want to say Mikal and Cam, but I know there are some trade packages that I will get into when we talk about the KD thing, but I just don't see a realistic situation in my head where we get to keep, our main core with including Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. But other than that, well, I want to say Chris Paul as well, but I just feel like that there's no one that's going to want to trade for him though with his contract and stuff like that and the age. So honestly, just CP and Book, but everyone else, they're fully up for grabs, which I think is fair.
At you.
I mean, I'm going to stick by Booker. I'm going to stick with Aiden. I think we have to bring him back, given that you're not going to get another 5 that plays the way he does in this league, unless you're talking about Embiid or Joker. Even guys like Bam are not a 5, like they're like a 4, like masquerading as a 5.
Yeah.
And I really think that Cam is the future of the power forward position for the Suns or any team, really. I think he can start for any team. Like, don't you think he could start for any team as a power forward?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And so we got Jay playing that position right now, right?
He's more of a small forward, in my opinion.
He's another guy masquerading and out of position, but he can do it really well, right?
Yeah.
But it only works really well if he doesn't get matched up on like KD or like Steph or just when he gets out of position, it just looks really bad. And if he's not making a shot, it's even worse.
Yeah, but I feel like go ahead.
And if he's taking really stupid like leaners or floaters or not 3-point, like just in rhythm 3-point shots, and it's even worse when he starts going like on his own, like one-on-one. You're just like, dude, like this is not the offense. No way is this offense.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed a lot, like with small forwards and power forwards, like over these past couple of years, like nothing really came out or was announced about this, but it just seems like small forwards are now playing power forwards and power forwards are playing center and stuff like that in certain lineups. And it's like weird seeing like, because I don't really see like big men that are like so tall, because it used to be power forwards were basically a center, but just maybe a couple inches shorter, and they just do a lot more scoring than a center traditionally would, unless they're the main piece of the offense. But seeing guys like Jay Crowder and, you know, obviously Draymond Green and guys of that size playing power forward, it would be really interesting to see DA play power forward. I would definitely like to see something like that, and I think it could be the new wave of like new power forwards going forward.
No, I totally agree with that. It's just like every position now is so like diverse. It's been the most diverse it's ever been. Like LeBron can play point. I mean, like LeBron is an exception, but like you can really have anybody run the point that has a little bit of ball handling and offensively, minded. That's why I love this era of basketball. But let's get into the KD stuff that you mentioned. Is the hype real? And so first, I'm gonna start with hearing KD's name thrown out. It was a fantasy dream at first. I didn't think it would happen, but it would be a nice little narrative to push, considering if we get some social media people talking about it, some sports analysts maybe. And through the last 2 weeks, it's been relatively quiet on that side of things. But since Thursday, or from Tuesday, really, there's been hints. Specs, you dropped a video recently, a couple days ago, about the whole KD situation and how he can possibly come to the Phoenix Suns. I want to first start with, let me share my screen real quick. I don't know if the audio is going to work. Hang on. I'm hoping it does. Oh, shit. Fuck. My screen froze. Okay. So, are you guys seeing this right here? The
yeah, let me get off. Yeah, I don't see it.
Okay. So, let me know if you hear it. I actually think LeBron. Do you hear it at all?
It's a little low, but I think I know what he's talking about.
All right. Let me turn up the audio, and if you guys hear it, I'm hoping that you do. So This is from Dan Duarte and Flex from Jersey's podcast, the Coast to Coast podcast. Flex is insider. Just take a listen here.
I actually think LeBron's situation could be slightly higher than KD. Actually, if I had to. So. Let's call KD 60% if the Kyrie thing works out. Let's call LeBron 65% if Kyrie doesn't go to LA and help him out. So both those guys have high margins to find a way to beat.
Okay, so that was the first sort of tidbit from Flex. Well, not really the first. That's probably the most recent. Then Kyrie dropped this GIF. If anyone doesn't know, I actually had to do research about this. This guy's from The Wire, and Kyrie dropped this GIF the day of all the insider scoop came out about.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I see it.
So,
what can I see?
All the insider scoop.
It's on Twitter. You posted it 5 days ago.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah. So
I could send you if you want.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay, cool. But so Flex dropped the same GIF as Kyrie, probably implying something else, or something in his mind is, clicking or coming together from what the stuff that he's heard. Specs, you want to dive into some of the stuff you sort of covered in your recent video?
Yeah, so what's actually crazy is I think literally the day after I dropped that video, this man Flex just drops millions of pieces, which honestly I'm okay with because I was just going off everything that led from weeks before. But let me just start by saying when I first heard KD to the Suns, I'm like, come on, man, like just stop. Like you're just pulling stuff out. And I heard someone say LeBron. I'm like, all right, now this is like getting ridiculous. Like I understand, like it's like kind of fun to be like, oh, this superstar. But then stuff started to like get brought to the light a little bit, and sources started coming out, mostly Flex, who was like the greatest insider I've ever seen for a team specifically. And I actually found someone that posted a bunch of notes to the podcast, like from Reddit. So I do have a bunch of these things, which I'm not trying to promo or anything, but I'm gonna start doing shorts, which I don't know if you guys know what shorts are, like on YouTube. Yeah. But basically, I'm gonna start doing those, but about like certain small topics, so that I can't turn to full length videos. And one of the things is gonna be something along the lines of like information that, because like the media has not talked about this, but I think it's so interesting. Like I haven't seen any person say anything about it, but going to what Flex said, first of all, he's been talking about unique opportunities, which I think is very interesting, and it's something that he's definitely like tried to express a lot, which I think obviously a team with CP3, Booker, and KD, and maybe Mikal and other guys of that nature would definitely be, no doubt, a unique opportunity. And also, I'm looking right here. So Kyrie is probably more than likely going to leave the Nets, which doesn't surprise me. And ironically, it's the Nets that's causing trouble. It's not Kyrie this time. And seeing all of that, I genuinely think that KD will come to Phoenix, but I'm still not on the LeBron thing. That really doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why he would leave. I wouldn't mind it, because if LeBron's on your team, then of course you're going to be a finals contender already, as if we're already not. So it'd be interesting to see. But just from everything that I've seen these past couple of days, it really does look like this genuinely could happen. I mean, the Suns are the preferred destination if Kyrie Irving does leave the Nets, which, like I've said a million times, is more than likely going to happen. So I think it's crazy that this actually could happen, and it's not just a dumb rumor, but I do genuinely wonder why no like media or people, when they're talking about KD possibly leaving, no one says KD to the Suns. Like I have not seen that at all. I don't know if it's just, oh, the media doesn't want to see the Suns, or if they just genuinely don't know what's going on. Like I think it's one of those.
Before you say anything, actually, Chris Broussard actually brought it up the other day.
Oh, he did? I didn't see that.
Yeah, talking about the Kyrie KD situation, talking about possible trades. He did mention Phoenix, but he was talking about packages that we'll absolutely never do that benefit the Nets completely.
Yeah.
So he did bring it up. Kendrick Perkins has brought it up once or twice. And then it's hard to ignore it, ignore the KD love, especially how much he's praised Book throughout the years, how consistently he's picked him in All-Stars. In interviews that KD's in, he brings up Booker, and then a picture circulating on Twitter right now of KD just like the last 2 days, he's wearing one of D-Book's like hoodies, like one of his sort of collabs or whatever. So, and then plus I've been seeing like other sources coming out about what's going on inside the Nets organization, and like just the thought of KD actually coming here is absolutely insane. But the more I think about it, the more I can talk myself into it, and I don't want to do that. But getting to the LeBron thing, well, like it kind of applies to both. KD and LeBron, they're one of my favorite, two of my favorite players ever. Like I lost traction with KD when he went to Golden State. It is what it is. But to have one of these guys come and join, just come to Phoenix and possibly winning a chip is it's beautiful to me. If it's LeBron, if it's KD, preferably KD, because I think he can still put out all-star caliber numbers. I think.
Do you want to win one, or do you want to win a dynasty?
But there is a problem with LeBron though. If you bring him on, your young stars and their development is out the window completely. Like
same
you're
with
not.
KD, same with any of these guys.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah, I just noticed that like it's very like noticeable with like LeBron for the most part, but that could just be we see it a lot.
Oh yeah, kill your franchise.
Yeah, but he might also bring you a championship though, which God damn it, I would love a championship. Like seriously.
Yeah, but I want it like that's the thing though. If LeBron comes here and wins, it's not the Suns win. It's LeBron wins his Suns.
Yeah.
It's not about the Suns.
Yeah.
Same with KD, same with Kyrie, same with any of these guys, right?
Yeah.
That's my problem in the narrative with any of these guys. And honestly, KD would be at the top of my list, but he's in a list of guys, and I'm talking about the list of guys that I would never want. I don't want Ben Simmons. I don't want Joel Embiid. He's always injured.
Yeah.
I don't want Kyrie because he just
really
doesn't care.
You don't know when. Yeah. Absolutely.
He thinks he's bigger than the team. I don't want James Harden because we've seen how that's
no, I do not like Harden. No.
I don't want Anthony Davis because he's street clothes.
Glass
like
bones,
if you traded, would you do a straight trade for Ayton for Anthony Davis?
Bull. Here's the thing. It's like the same thing with Kyrie. Am I going to get him for all 82 games minus, possible injuries? Because that's just happens. Like if I know I'm going to get 80 for even 70 games, I would probably very much consider it. But you don't know. You could get him for 10 or 20. Like it's too much of a risk, especially with Kyrie. Like it's just too much.
And here's the thing about KD that I don't like is that his first couple years, or maybe it was his first year with the Warriors, he played their offensive system, right? Because he wanted to get away from Westbrook. So he played in their system. He moved the ball. But towards the end of his 3 years there or 4 years there, I think it was 3.
3. Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
4? I thought it was 4.
Maybe it was 4. I don't know what it was. But either way, what happened is that it became an ISO ball game. The same way they played in with the Nets, same way they played with Westbrook, it became ISO ball. It became about him. And it worked, right? Like it almost worked against the Bucks, where if his foot was just a little bit bigger or smaller, they would have, made that he would have made that 3-pointer, they would have advanced. So I'm just not bought in on him. And on the fact that, he's not necessarily like a defensive player the way that you get Mikal Bridges. Like, in his prime, like he was really good, a really awesome two-way player. He is not that player anymore. He's very delicate at this point. He takes a lot of games off. I wouldn't want to put him with Booker because I think it takes away from Booker, and they're probably going to take away from Chris Paul. And if you diminish Chris Paul into a guy that's just standing outside shooting threes, and we're back to Houston.
Oh yeah.
There's basically, I come down to this, okay? Chip over anything, okay?
One chip or a chance for 3.
But what's the likelihood with this current roster, though?
It's not 3.
If we give the money, we've had issues with him being consistent and his mind in the game, and now Chris Paul's in a smaller window, and we don't know what his trade value is. And look, I'm if KD comes here, I think a ring with the Suns will solidify him in the top 10 for sure. I think he might even pass Curry.
I'll get to that in a sec. Yeah, go ahead though.
But I think a major storyline if KD comes here is the Suns haven't won a championship ever. And now the Suns had an established team, and they brought in the superstar to sort of take the reign and lead the charge. Booker either being the second or first option depending on the night. That's what we need, because if we only have Booker out there, and no one else has the green light. I don't see us making it past the second or third round. So if we bring in a guy like KD that really doesn't get injured like that, yeah, he's had some scary injuries, but
I'm not talking about the scary ones. I'm just talking about the maintenance.
Like in general, the day to day.
Yeah, he misses a lot of games. Look, dude, if you win with KD, he's on a 3-year contract or something, 2-year contract, player option. Don't you think that hurts Booker's long term? Booker won't win again. Do you think Booker will win again after that?
Once KD leaves?
Yes.
Well, he'll have that experience. He'll have that experience. He'll be in a championship situation, which he already had it once. And if he wins with KD, I genuinely think he's going to take something away from that.
And like,
I mean,
who's
he
to
won
say
with
that Booker
KD
isn't going to be the better player
in the
that
gold medal
series?
game? Like, I'm not worried about that. My concern, dude, KD only won his chips with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond. He couldn't win anywhere else.
But the thing is, like, I think one of the reasons why he would want to come here is, I think, what do you call it? Jay said it. What's up, coach? But one of the biggest things was that Kevin Durant wanted to prove himself in Brooklyn. Like, he wanted to show that, I can do it on my own, and he couldn't. And now everyone is saying, like, oh, Curry could do it. Why couldn't you? I think if he does come to Phoenix, he's going to be like, all right, I got to prove myself. And I think this Phoenix team is better than that Brooklyn team, because you talked about that playoff game versus, I think it was Milwaukee, the foot on the line, whatever. What you didn't mention is the fact that that team was basically beat to shreds. Like, they had, I think Harden was practically playing on one leg. I don't even think Kyrie was playing. Most of their roster was completely gone. It was literally KD dropping practically 50 points a game, like, per night. And the fact they were that close amazes me, even though they lost. And I rarely say this about a performance, even though they did lose and the Bucks went on to win the whole thing. I think it was still very impressive that he was able to carry and literally do everything he could in his power. And they damn near won that game. Like, he was 2 inches away. And now in Phoenix, I'm not
taking anything away from KD, bro. Like, I won't. But I'm just saying this. I just think your offense changes when you bring him in. It's not going to be the
100%. But then,
but that happens with any superstar.
But Book needs help, though. Like, we can't, like you said before, we can't rely on Chris. And then if we ship, like, we're worried about just DA's output, and that's like, if we keep him, we're worried about his output. If we send him off, we possibly have a superstar paired along with Book to take some of that heat off of him. So. That's where I'm at. And Book, Rick says it here. Book is entering his prime right now, and he can probably learn a lot from KD, some different moves and stuff. But them two trading, on offensive possessions, and who's to say that Booker won't be the better player in that series either? Like, KD can basically be our D-hop, our decoy. You can just go off when he wants to.
Also, I think it's important to note that you just say, oh, KD can't play defense. And obviously, I'm not saying just he's going to let everyone blow by. But in a situation where we can keep Mikal, which I think is definitely possible, especially if we use DA to trade for assets and, give them to Brooklyn, whatever, I genuinely think that guys like Mikal and Booker, who's started to step up as a two-way player, and even, other guys on defense, still be able to fill up that role. Like, I genuinely think this team will honestly get better, and it's more of a better situation than like Brooklyn and his previous other ones. Like, I think he would thrive here, honestly. I think it would be a perfect scenario. I mean, Booker would learn something. Booker would
love him.
Yeah, Booker would win a championship. KD would win a championship. He'd prove to the world why he's a top 10 player, and all these great things would happen. Obviously, there are some risks, but I feel like that's with any superstar player you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, no, I agree. I mean, look, dude, like, having Kevin Durant on your team, like, I said this before, like, when I was watching the Olympics, and I was like, any team that has this guy and this, when he's playing like this, they're the favorite of anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking at the long-term aspects of, like, what we give up, because Brooklyn had a team. If you guys remember in the bubble, that team was coached by Kenny Atkinson, who's now, I think he's coaching. Where's he coaching, Specs?
Charlotte. I think Charlotte.
And his team, the way that was designed, was like basically 2020 like Suns team, right? Mm-hmm. Like, they had a bunch of young guys that were ready. They're putting it together. They had Karis LeVert, and then Spencer Dinwiddie was hurt. He wasn't playing. But they had like a young team, and they sold all that out for KD, Harden, and KD now, or sorry, Kyrie, and where are they now? Like, what happened to them now?
I mean, to be fair, let's say, like, the Magic, who I have, no one's really been saying this, but the Magic have one of the best potential rosters in the NBA, and that's something that no one's talking about. But what if they, like, if you're a Magic fan, right, and you can get Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, would you not, like, take that opportunity? Like, would you not, like, even if like on paper you're like, well, this could happen, would you not be like, yes, like absolutely, I would love all three of those players, even with the risk there is. Like, would you not want to have Kyrie Irving? Like, that was supposed to be one of the best big three that we were ever gonna get. Like, it sucks it didn't work out, but I think if you had a different group of those three guys, maybe it would have worked out. But still.
I would just say this, like, you have to be, so I agree with you, and I think the Suns did it the right way, where it's like, we're not going to destroy the core. We're going to, get rid of Kelly Oubre, some expiring contracts, and then bring in somebody like Chris Paul and pay him a max. Like, that's the difference, right? Where we're not, like, taking away the guys that we have, because they had to trade away all those guys. The only guy that's left is Joe Harris at this point from that roster.
Yeah, Oh, yeah, and Claxton. I think Claxton, or was he?
Maybe Claxton was on that team too.
I think so. Yeah.
Those guys, but my point is that you had to trade away all those guys to bring them in, and now you're at a point where you're going to rebuild again. Whereas, like, I like what the Suns did. It was like, let's keep the core together, let's get them on manageable contracts, and bring in Chris Paul. You know what I mean? And even though he's an older player that you don't know what you're going to get, but the Suns gambled. And at the same time, now they have his expiring, and his contract's really actually something to look at, because he's not guaranteed in that fourth year at all. And I think he's like partially guaranteed in the year 3. So we're going into year 3 of that contract now, right? So we're at a point where, like, Chris Paul can be waived and stretched out. He can be bought out. He can be traded for the value of the contract. Like, there's just so many options that they can do.
Look, so if we get KD, like how Golden State got him, well, they got him in free agency. But if we get him like on a 3-year, there's a good chance that we're going to the finals in 3 straight years, just like how they did. And I'm not comparing us to the Warriors. Obviously, they have Curry, and they had Sean Livingston, a mid-range god. They had a team, but the Suns have a team too, and we're fucking Bleacher Report ranked us 9th on power rankings, which
that shit's disrespectful as fuck. That's so disrespectful.
I don't give a fuck that we lost a Game 7 against Dallas in a blowout fashion. I don't care. They're not better. They're not better.
Yeah, honestly, if we get Kevin Durant and if we get some other assets, I could give 2 fucks if we lost to Dallas, because we're gonna win a goddamn championship. I don't care. Like, I will just people will forget about it. Be like, oh, they won that game. Like, and what happened? They got blown out by like Golden State.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like I'm not gonna lie, we were gonna lose to Golden State. Like, there's no question about it. We were not beating that Golden State team. So would you rather lose in the second round or think we could beat the War and they lose in 5 or 6?
Well,
like, honestly,
so let me just say this real quick though. So, we weren't going to beat Golden State, given what had happened in the playoffs. Like, if we win that Game 7, like, we have all these questions about campaign. We have all these questions about Landry Shamet. We don't know about Chris Paul's health. We don't know about DeAndre Ayton's like commitment to the team. Booker still can't figure out double teams, and that is like that to me is the biggest problem with this team. Not the biggest problem, but it is like essentially on court. Like,
yeah, it's a problem.
Figure out how to split a double team. Like, he has to figure that out.
I mean, also, but even healthy, that Warriors team in the playoffs was just completely different and like on a whole other planet. I don't even think we would have been able to touch them. To be honest,
do you think they were a championship team? I don't think they were.
No.
The first, the Suns or the Warriors?
No, Warriors.
Literally the first week of the season, I was like, they're probably gonna like win it. Okay, so when Phoenix had their start, I was like, obviously, okay, this is gonna be a really good team. But just seeing Golden State, I was like, unless something happens, there's no way they don't win. Like, there was just no way.
I mean, there's such a variance in their shooting. So if they don't get like contributions from Jordan Poole or like just random guys just showing up and contributing for that team, like they're such a random team. And the fact okay, so let me ask you this question. If the Warriors play the Bucks with Middleton, let me ask you before we even get to that. So if Middleton's healthy, do the Celtics make it to the finals?
Yeah.
No.
That Celtics defense was really good.
No, they weren't that good. They weren't that good to stop that pick and roll with Middleton and Giannis. Either way, there's no way.
I mean, but Giannis could score like 50 or 40 or 50, whatever. But would a Middleton be able to do something versus guys like Marcus Smart and other guys on the Celtics defense?
I think he would, because he did it against Mikal and he did it against other guys. Like so that's my point. So like, first of all, they played a weaker Eastern Conference team, so that shouldn't have been there. And they shouldn't have been there, because realistically, if we theoretically thought like what this Suns team was, what it should have been, there's no way that theoretical Suns team would have lost this Warriors team. Am I correct?
Yeah.
The theoretical Suns team?
Yeah.
Where Aiden's just punishing them because they don't have a center on the court?
Right? Well, yeah. Yeah, because that was the one of the biggest things. It was like, oh, DA, and they don't really have a center that can match up with them.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know, man. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I can say that, but I sound like a dick because I'm like, we lost to the Mavericks. Like, yeah.
Well, that was supposed to be a series we should have won.
Like, I sound like a Lakers fan being like, oh well, if AD wasn't healthy, the Suns would have lost. I'm like, well,
yeah. Well, shit just happens.
Yeah.
I'll go on record right now saying Dallas beating us was fucking fluky. I don't care, but
it is fluky because their 3-point shooting they never shot that way anytime ever.
No. Yeah, I think that was like a record for them. Like, but what's so crazy is like I remember seeing someone talk about this. I'm like, oh my god, this is so right. Where Dallas we'd be locking them up for like the whole possession, and in the final like 3 seconds, wide open three, like bang,
like from half court. It's like, dude, like, are you serious?
Bertans, come on, Bertans. That guy will never do anything more meaningful than what he did in that playoff series. He's never going to do that again. I'm going on a record, dude.
If anyone tells me that Dallas is better, is full of shit. Like, if that game 7, if you want to go off that, I mean, be my guest. But dude, there was other shit brewing, dude.
No, but like, you can look at all the games they won, and the 3-point shooting was insane.
Yeah,
all 4 games was insane.
And refs,
even in game 1, their 3-point shooting was insane, but our 3-point shooting was good enough to beat them.
Yeah, but just to put a cap on this KD stuff, we have to get the ball rolling a little bit.
Yeah.
I want KD to come, but I don't want to give up too much for him. I think Mikal, Chris Paul, and Devin Booker are off the table when it comes to trade negotiation. As long as you can get a established starting 5 with the superstar coming in, I think we can have JaVale running the center, or even Biyombo if we keep him around, and have JaVale still play the backup. And then James Jones, he's looking forward to having Dario back as well. And have Dario.
Yes, Dario.
They were in their first season together and stuff. I miss that. I miss that more than anything. So there's a lot of questions. We try to give you the answers. Take them as you will. It's going to be an interesting offseason, especially when free agency starts on the 30th.
I cannot wait for that.
I can't wait, because last year it was pretty dead, but this year is going to be pretty wild.
No, I'm not sleeping for like a week. Like when free agency starts, like I'm so hyped for everything. Like,
and it's so funny because no one talked about Kemba Walker. Like,
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Like no one talked about Kemba Walker.
I know this is also kind of off topic a little bit. Can we talk about the fact real quick that John Wall is basically robbing the Houston Rockets right now? Like, this should borderline be illegal. Like, man has played, actually, people say 40 games, but what they forget to mention is, like, I think he actually played 1 season and he played half the games there. And the rest of the time he was either injured or literally last year he just like didn't want to play because they were trying to figure out a trade. That's crazy to me.
Like, so there's 2 parts, right? Like, there's one part where I'm going to get paid and not play, and you can figure out what you want to do with me. And the other part is like, I want to play to show my value to other teams. And this guy did neither of those. Like, he's just like, not only do I not give a shit, I'm not going to play. And no one can figure out if I'm healthy or not, because there's like pictures where this guy looks like 300 pounds. And then there's like, you go back to those like Wizards videos where like, this guy's Jason Kidd. Like, he looks like Jason Kidd.
Yeah. I mean, he made what almost 200 million, and I'm sure from his rookie contracts and contracts before, he's made more than that. This man could retire this year and be perfectly fine, and if he has investments and other things of that nature. So I honestly don't blame him. If I was in his position, I'd probably do that too. Like, I think he literally took a damn near 47 million, like almost 50 million player option, and I don't know if he's gonna play. I have no idea.
It just tells me as a hooper that, like, if you're a hooper, you want to hoop.
Yeah.
And if you're not playing, even when you're making money, right?
Yeah.
If you're not at least making videos, like Ben Simmons at least is trying to show, like, hey, maybe I can shoot a 3-point shot. But, like, make a video, do something. Show that you're in shape. Show that, like, you're actually, like, valuable to a team.
I mean, to be fair, Ben Simmons kind of ruined showing videos because it's just now seen as like, okay, we don't give a damn. Yeah, like goddamn, like Ben Simmons, you made 1 3. How many tries did that take? 37, like 37 takes.
I mean, the editing is questionable, right? Like,
yeah,
you see DeMarcus Cousins out there, like there's videos of him doing shit, and it's just like, at least he's trying to play. Like, at least
he's trying. Like, he's in a court.
Trying to be a role player on teams that are trying to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was a max player at one point. So
he was.
I just
Prime Boogie was crazy.
Like, I really really like John Wall coming out of college from Kentucky. I thought he could be a Jason Kidd player, like that type of level Hall of Fame player with his speed. When he gets a rebound, it's just like a layup at the other end.
Just 3 dribbles in the court.
And then he figured out a way to be, play with Beal and all that stuff. It's just really sad. Like, it's sad, man. I thought he could be better.
Yeah, it's just like the Wizards front office didn't do a good job putting talent around Beal and Wall, And
we should save that topic because the Wizards, like, franchise, we should do a legacy, like, podcast just on how bad that franchise is.
That would be so funny to roast other teams.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna lie. I had actually thought about doing that for the playoffs, but then I was like, "Yeah, this is not me. I'm not gonna do it." But I would genuinely love to just shit talk every single team in existence, like for the other teams. I would genuinely not mind doing.
So it's our idea now. So
hey, I'm fine. No, I don't. I genuinely don't know if I could bring myself to do that because I would have a field day. I would have a field day. It'd probably get demonetized, but I'll try to keep my cool for you guys.
We're gonna do it, the 3 of us, with Evan and Randy, and it's gonna be facts over feelings, like how bad these franchises.
Your team is.
I'm going in on the Kings. Don't even get me started.
We'll probably keep the Kings out. I think they've gotten enough.
Yeah, that would just be unfair at this point. Or the Jazz. I give up on the Jazz. I'm not gonna lie. I give up. Like, I trust a team of middle schoolers to beat them. To be honest, like, I'm sorry. I know. I think Evan's from Utah. He lives there, whatever. But like, that team is a joke.
No, he has no love for them. Trust me, he has no love for them.
Okay, good.
Let's move on. We're over 113 right now, and I'm gonna give the audience and you guys a choice. Okay, I have a mystery tier list. Okay, that we can do, or we skip the tier list and we talk about Kenobi. And we talk about some other movie stuff tonight.
I do want to do the tier list. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
I'm interested in that tier list.
Yeah.
Tier list? Okay.
Because you did not tell us about it. You just said it's mystery, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of enticing. So.
And I mean, he prepared it. He did all the whole thing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did take me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
If we don't have enough,
pick the tier list.
Yeah. if we don't have enough time for Kenobi, we can talk about the next one because. Yeah, I definitely got a lot of things to say about that.
Okay, so you guys are gonna like this.
All right. Oh, okay.
We're doing it.
The NFL history's best uniforms / jerseys ever. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were say okay. I thought you were say players for a sec because I was about to go. All right, go ahead.
No, I picked the players specifically for repping the uniform because it comes all together. Okay?
Yeah.
So. For everybody, this is a tier list here. We have the godly, we have great, we have mid, we have dog shit,
right.
And then I'm gonna get rid of this one. Hang on. So we have 4 categories here. Me and Ahmed, we've been hinting at this the last couple of weeks to do this. When we have Evan on, we'll do this with him as well. Do it real quick, but I've been wanting to do this. I've had this on my desktop for a while. So, starting with Deion Sanders, Cowboys.
That's a very cool jersey. No bias here. No bias here.
Where would you put this?
So we're talking about that jersey, not the current Cowboys jersey.
No,
these are all that time because yeah.
So I will always say this like Cowboys, like the blue and silver jerseys, I think are like all-time great jerseys, but this white and blue one with the silver helmet is a mid.
Yeah, I would have to agree for the first one. Yeah, that's mid, but the other Cowboys, you'll see there. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this one.
I am a big fan of this one, but I see what y'all are saying. I will put this one in mid. Plus, it's the Cowboys. We're gonna put them mid. I would put them down.
That's crazy. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll block that. Like we will block that. Like we blocked your punter in
all right.
That was we broke his foot.
See, I wasn't alive for the rings, so I'm not gonna be that fan. It's like, oh, we got this many. I'm not gonna do that. Like I wasn't even born, so I can't even bring that up. But
dude, you live in an era where the Cardinals just spank you.
Like, yeah, I was living in an era where the Cardinals haven't won anything. But go ahead.
Neither of the Cowboys, so it's the same era.
Isn't your quarterback like? Never mind. Let me stop because I'm about to disrespect Kyler. I'm not gonna disrespect Kyler on here. I know y'all will go for me.
It's intense in here.
Oh man.
So this uniform is actually getting brought back this year. The Tom Brady. This is Tom Brady right here. But the Red Patriots uniform. I love this uniform, especially the old school logo. Ahmed, let's start with you. Where would you put this uniform?
So for me, it's not the actual uniform, but the helmet that I love.
The helmet.
So I think the helmet's fire. I would put it as great.
I'm kind of between great and godly. Like I absolutely love that throwback, and I'm so glad that they're bringing it back. Even though I'm probably not going to watch a Patriots game, but yeah, honestly, it's between great and godly. But I'll put it at great.
I'm on the great train. Like I've always loved these. Okay, so y'all already touched on this. This is the Romo navy blue white sleeve, white helmet with a simple blue star. These were really clean. I wish they used these uniforms more now than what they have currently.
Yeah.
Is this is this only used on Thanksgiving Day, or is this
this is a Thanksgiving jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is absolutely my favorite out of all the Cowboys jerseys. So
really
clean, dude.
Yeah,
really
it's like when I would get jerseys as a kid, like I would always get these like this colorway specifically. Even when my dad would give me jerseys, like I think I have a Micah one that's like this, even though obviously Micah's never worn it. So I just really like the design. Like it's kind of basic, but it just looks like so badass.
Yeah. What about you, Ahmed? What are you feeling on these?
Mid. I'm a mid guy, but we can average it out wherever you guys want to.
Yeah, I say put it great then. Well, actually, what are you finding, Jay?
I'm thinking great. I love it. Yeah. So two greats beat mid. Fucking Christ. So the black Arizona Cardinals jerseys. I like these. But God, we need to change our uniform format, dude. I swear to God. Yeah. Specs, what are you feeling on these ones, man?
I mean, despite being a terrible team, I'm not gonna lie. Out of all the Cardinals jerseys, I actually don't mind this one. Like, I actually think it's kind of cool. Like, I like the black jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
It's the white helmet that kills
uniform.
I really like it, to be honest. So, I mean,
mid.
Yeah.
Mid. This is like mid.
Yeah. I mean, that's not saying much compared to your guys' jerseys, but I would rank that. Actually, either that one, the red color rush you guys have, but that's not on this tier list. So, yeah,
we
probably
lose
mid.
all the time in that uniform. We don't.
That's why you lose regardless, but never mind. No, I was here to disrespect the Cardinals, even though you got the Cardinals flag in the back.
Moving on to this 2005 Drew Brees.
Bro, this is. I was gonna ask you what year this is because they don't even have this black anymore.
Yeah, this is 05 to 07, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to find the difference. Oh, the helmet, is that what it is, or the color?
No, so the black is that like material is different. It's
not,
no,
I see. Wait. Oh yeah, I see it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish they would wear that more. I like that.
No, dude, this shit is trash. Like the helmet is fire. The helmet's always been fire, but the jersey sucks, man. I'm
gonna put it mid. I think it's mid. You know, I mean, to be fair though, I feel like this jersey is also worn a lot by the Saints, but just the normal color. But yeah, I'd put it mid.
Yeah, I agree. But what makes this for me is the Louisiana patch right here.
See, I thought that's what it was, but I couldn't tell. I thought it was like maybe a captain patch or something. I couldn't tell.
Fucking locomotive train or something.
The Louisiana purchase patch. I'll put it mid. I don't think it's trash.
Yeah.
The Saints have always had,
It looks like a practice jersey, dude, nowadays.
Yeah, it kind of looks like some of you would throw on for like 7-on-7 scrimmage or something. Yeah, I can totally see that.
It does. It looks like a high school jersey. I'm not gonna lie.
That'd be a dope high school jersey though. Like if you had that. I'm not gonna lie. I would not mind rocking that. Yeah. All right. Okay, this is an interesting one.
Moving on to these retro. I think these came out in the 80s, either late 80s, early 90s.
I'm thinking like 85 maybe.
Yeah, they're bringing them. They're bringing them back this year with Russ.
Oh, really?
Yeah, perfect timing and stuff.
Oh shit! I did not know that.
With the different helmet combinations now you're able to do. That's why I want the Cardinals to fucking change their uniforms already. What are y'all feeling on this? Specs, we'll start with you.
I want to say godly, honestly. Like this is one of my. This is easily my favorite Broncos jersey. But out of all like the like alternates, whatever you want to call them, like throwback, retro, whatever, I think it's actually pretty badass. Like I like the D on the helmet. Pause. I like the color and just everything like that. Yeah, and I also like Steve Atwater rocking it. So yeah, I gotta go godly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm same thing. I mean, like I just remember Steve Atwater coming out in that same position with that jersey and taking out Nigerian Nightmare and tackling him, went full on. Like, I mean, I love that jersey.
That's the Okoye, right? I just want to make sure.
Christian Okoye.
Thank God. Okay, I swore I thought I remember his. Okay.
I'm checking the chat. I got great. Godly. Yeah, godly, no question in my opinion. Yeah. Hang on, let me switch back. You have to go through all these fucking settings.
Yeah. No, you good, man.
Okay, cool. So I'll throw this in godly. Definitely a classic.
Especially because like when they redesigned everything and they changed the color scheme, but they still wore the orange jerseys. It just like it just never felt
looked right.
I never liked the orange jerseys.
Yeah.
Like when they switched to blue, like to that darker blue, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
Like you got to do like this monotone sky blue.
Yeah. It's also kind of out there. Like I don't want to call it ugly because obviously not an ugly jersey, but if you know what I mean, like the color, like it's just like it looks kind of weird, but it's also the Broncos color scheme. So
yeah, I mean no, but it's ugly, but it's cool. Ugly.
Yeah, like there are jerseys that are ugly but cool, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the Cardinals jersey is just ugly, not cool though. But not going.
Yeah.
All right.
Now our first, in this era. Uniforms, these LA Chargers.
That's
dog shit. Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
okay. I have a lot of so I've living in LA. I have a lot of problems with the Rams and the Chargers. First of all, can you tell me the difference between their logos and color schemes and designs? Like they're pretty much the same. Like
they need to change it.
Should I even think about that? I was thinking of the St. Louis Rams for a minute when I thought about the color scheme. Why don't they just go back to that? Maybe not the same, like maybe the same uniform, but just like same color scheme.
So
I didn't even think about that. Holy shit! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, think about it, dude, and look at it because the way their patches are designed, they have the same patch. Like there's a little Chargers patch and a Rams patch on the jersey.
Really identical. Yeah.
They're just so. Here's the thing I'll say. Like, if you're gonna go with a white helmet, I don't know, dude. It makes no sense to me why they did that.
That's driving me crazy.
The other thing is, if you're gonna go with a white helmet and your whole theme is Chargers lightning bolts, bolts are white, then why the hell are your lightning bolts not white? Like the way they used to have that, like with LaDainian Tomlinson, they had that blue helmet.
Wait, what about I don't know what the color is called. It's like a light blue, like turquoise, I think. I do not remember what it's called. Like something like that, maybe. Like, but yeah, I'm not sure how much I like the dark blue though. Like, it's not I don't know about dog shit, but it's not like the best though, I will say.
I hate what they did. They really modified it. They looked like a Division II football team, or like a fucking.
No, Division II is crazy.
Dude, it's not good. You think that's good?
Well, it's not Division II, but it's like it's not the worst thing in the world.
It's bad. I mean, it looks like a Canadian football team uniform.
Okay, is that good? Is that good to look like a Canadian football team?
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, I don't know any CFL teams, like, so I can't exactly, give input on that. But I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Like, it, yeah.
Dude,
there's a lot of lines. Look at all the lines. Like, look at the shoulder.
It is a lot of lines.
What do the lines do? Damn.
On the pants, then there's like a white border so they can put the bolt in.
Stupid looking, dude. It's bad.
All right, we'll put it at dog shit.
Yeah, let's put it at dog shit then. Yeah, you kind of talked me into that, Amit. You should be apologized.
Goddamn. Okay,
I'm curious to see what you guys say about these. Like creamsicle, Tampa Bay Bucks, unis.
Nick, go first. Nick, tell me what you think.
Okay, so it's kind of like with the Broncos thing. Like, it's kind of ugly, but it's like out there, but it's kind of dope. Like, I'm not a Bucks fan, like hell no, but if I was, definitely wouldn't mind rocking one of those. I want to put it great or godly tier. I'm like in between, if that makes sense.
What about you, Amit?
So, as a retro jersey, this jersey is fucking fire.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
But, like, if you can update it and maybe it's basically 3 colors. The whole thing is 3 colors. Like, if they can add maybe a little black trim or a little, like, gray to it or a little of that, like, burnt orange that they use.
Yeah.
I mean, and which is what they kind of did with their newer jerseys where it's, like, the brown kind of combination of all of them. But I think like you could have an all-time fire jersey with this if you like fuck with it just a little bit. But yeah, it is like I'll say it's godly.
I'm glad y'all say godly because I love these uniforms.
Yeah, I fucking love it.
I want to see Brady in this so fucking bad, dude.
I think my brother actually has a Brady jersey of one of those. I think. Yeah, it's a dope jersey though.
This is one of the better ones. Oh, dude, do you know what I didn't add in here?
What?
I just realized the Kelly Green Philadelphia Eagle ones.
Bro, those are ugly. Those are ugly. I'm not gonna lie. Really? Those are ugly. Those are bird shit.
I'm glad they updated it.
Oh man,
just like that team. All right, but Niners. That's Quan, right?
No, that's T.O.
Yeah,
that's T. Oh shit, never mind. I'm dumb as hell. No, my fault. It's okay. I mean, I like the helmet, but I don't know. It's all right for me.
So what the Niners have done, and this is what a lot of teams have done. They've taken like their old school jerseys and like modified them, made them really good. So like the Packers have fixed like their old jerseys. They've made like they've made it really tight with the piping and all that stuff. So this is. And in my opinion, like my favorite jersey in the NFL are the Cowboys, the Raiders, the Packers, the Niners.
Yeah.
I think those are the best jerseys, like the current jerseys, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right now.
This is kind of like that Lakers. I mean, it's weird that they did this. They added like the 3D thing to the. I don't know. It's mid. It's mid for me.
This one's mid. I thought you were gonna put this one godly.
No.
I'll put it mid too. I mean, I like the shade of red that they used for this one, and like the stripe, and then I think that's a good gold. It's not overbearing gold. Like gold can be annoying to look at. All right, Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis edition.
That's my guy. Now that's the guy who got me into football. I mean, R.I.P. Art Rooney, but I love you some Ray Lewis. I actually don't mind the jersey, even though it does it not look kind of current. Or actually no, never mind. Because I'm thinking about the current jerseys right now. I'm let's see. I'm between mid or great. Like I know I said it's a great jersey, but like it's also like kind of basic in the design. You know, it's nothing too crazy. But I put it in great maybe.
Yeah, purple, gold, and black is always a really good color scheme. I just think like the font of the numbers, and then doing like the 3D shading on the numbers too is a little bit too much compared to what they do now. So I'll say it's great, but it's not like godly.
Yeah, I'll throw it in great too, mostly because of Ray Lewis, and he kind of made it for that. And plus, like the Ravens have one of the most on the nose team names ever in the NFL. Just with Edgar Allan Poe, he was a Raven, and and they use the flag a lot too. All right, Cardinals' most infamous enemy, Troy Polamalu.
I thought it would have been winning a Super Bowl, not Troy Polamalu.
I mean, he prevented us.
Yeah.
But what are y'all feeling about this? Because we know the Steelers. I mean, they've had the same look for literally forever, but it's a classic though.
Well, if we're talking about the hair is godly easily, but the jersey itself, it's kind of like the same design that I've noticed a lot, but just like a couple small changes that you can't really tell. But if you like closely pay attention to, like Amit's been able to do, then you could probably tell. But I'd put it in mid. Like it's something you really see a lot when you look at Steelers jerseys. Other than I think that like the Steelers logo on, I'm not sure if that's still there now, but that's really about it that I can notice. It looks pretty normal to me.
Yeah, it's mid. I mean, like the thing is that like this, like any team that wears pants that are like yellow or orange or like these weird colored pants, you're just like, as like as a person, you would not wear that color pants, right? Like you just be like, but with the helmet, like. I just wish they'd do more with their helmet or something. Like they just have that same logo just repeating everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, like they have the history, they have the all-time teams, they have the Super Bowls. Like they really don't have to change it if they don't want to. Like I'm not gonna kill them for it, but I do want to see something new. I mean, they try like when they introduced that Bumblebee uniform.
I love that. I don't care. I love it. It's ugly as hell, but I love it. Like I don't know why they made it, but I love it. It looks like a referee jersey, but it's all time great, no doubt.
I like him honestly.
All right.
Sean Taylor, R.I.P.
Right. Yes, R.I.P. Sean Taylor.
The Redskins. And fuck the Commanders. It's the Redskins.
Yeah, that's a stupid fucking name. The Commanders, the fucking football team. That is so. All right. I don't get the whole. That's dumb as hell. But no, I'm just gonna call them Washington.
I think I said this on a pod, but they should have never changed the name from. They should have kept it the Washington Football Team, and then they should have made their alternate team DCFC, District of Columbia Football Club.
That's kind of a badass name, DCFC. Right? Yeah, I fuck with that, DCFC.
Yeah. So I mean, Commanders, whatever. The jersey. I mean, look, like the helmet is all time. Like the helmet is an all time helmet.
No question.
Even though a lot of people probably find it offensive, but like the uniforms are their uniforms have always been great.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. This kind of looks like if you got a bunch of condiments, but I like ketchup, so it's not that bad of a jersey.
There's a hot dog running right down.
Yeah, and then the white is just the fill in the canvas. But I mean, honestly, I've seen better. But I think if you kind of switch the colors, maybe like if you made it maybe yellow or red for the inside, maybe have the colors white, something like that. Like kind of switch it up. I think it would be a little better, but it's not bad per se. I'd put it either mid or great. I'm kind of in between.
I put Sean Taylor in here because he was one of my favorite players when I was younger. and then until that robbery happened, he like the world just sort of took away one of my favorite athletes at the time. And
I never got to see him play. I was too young, but I saw his football life, and that man was crazy as hell.
Yeah,
like he was
one of the best corners I've ever seen personally. Free safeties. I mean, he played everything. So like,
he was running back in college too.
Yeah, he was,
or high school, something like that.
Yeah, but like even if you invert it, like with the maroon red and with the yellow lettering or whatever, like whatever the other version of this was, I thought it was a classic. Honestly, I don't care what y'all have to say. I'm a great.
I'm good at that. I don't know why I love these. I don't know why. Like I think it's like the color scheme. Like I absolutely love these. Also, Kurt Warner. That guy's good. But I really like these jerseys. Like I'm not gonna lie, especially the helmet too.
The colors. Like I really don't why they switched the colors.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't even think about what I mean. Homage is like open my eyes. Like the Chargers and Rams basically have the same colors. I just learned that today. Like the more you know, like that's crazy. I honestly wish they would go back to these. Yeah, might as well just be like they might as well like share their name or something. I don't know. I'm tired as hell. I'm like on 1% battery life doing this, but I like the jersey and the helmet as well.
Look, dude, the colors are good. The jersey is trash. Look at the helmet, dude. Those ram horns are bad.
What do you mean?
Like the way that they're not.
The horns are botchy, though. I'm not gonna lie. The horns are botchy.
Like you can really see. Like it doesn't work. And like look at the striping on the shoulders. Like that's too much.
Yeah.
Right. And they don't need the piping of the white around the gold on the front of the jersey. I mean,
they don't
look,
need
dude,
the logo on the sleeves either.
Yeah, you don't need that. Like it's just too much. Like I think the idea of it is like godly, and they should have kept that color scheme when they switched over. But this is just trash, man. In my opinion.
Trash. What are you thinking, Specs?
Oh, I said they were great, like around that area.
Let's just meet in the middle with mid.
Yeah.
Let's just do that. All right, Lawrence Taylor, Giants.
Man, fuck Lawrence Taylor. What? None. I say none. All right. Let's I mean, it's a basic color scheme. You know, it's classic and all, but it's all right.
This picture cuts it off, but it's with the classic navy blue, just New York Giants helmet.
All right, dude, I like the helmet though. I like the helmet.
Yeah, the helmet was so much better than what they have right now.
Yeah,
bro, their helmets is trash now. I like their like old like navy blue, like it was pretty shiny too.
Yeah, the metallic color.
Yeah, I'm thinking like mid, honestly. Like it's so basic. Like I could draw that, and I can't draw.
I could draw it. What about you, Amit?
Yeah, I'll say mid. Like it's just it lacks creativity. It makes you like nostalgic for that era of football, but it's not a good jersey.
Okay, cool. Moving on. I think all of us can kind of agree. The Raiders, Bo Jackson, black and gray. I mean, Raiders have one of the better color concepts.
Oh yeah, Raiders jerseys are always badass, no matter what.
Yeah. I feel like we're obligated to put it in godly. What about you, Amit?
No, I mean, the Raiders, dude. What's that poem, The Autumn Wind, or whatever they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's something that. Yeah.
It makes you think of these guys, right? Like, even though they freaking sucked for like years and years and years, but you think about that 80s, 70s, 60s Raiders team.
Now I'm scared to put them not in godly because I feel like Bo Jackson will run me over, so I'm not gonna say anything.
At like 60, 70 years old,
he would like destroy me. I don't care if I'm young as hell. Like he would actually break me. It's Bo Jackson. But okay, let's see. Antonio Gates. I like this. I mean, this. It's a little simplistic, but I like it.
I miss this blue. I miss this blue.
I wish they would have this blue, and the Rams would have the colors that we talked about, the Kurt Warner St. Louis Rams jerseys. I wish that's how it was.
Yeah. If you would have shown me this with LT, then I would have said this is great. But you showed me Antonio Gates, and I'm like, this is okay.
Damn, I'm not gonna take that Antonio Gates slander right now, but nah. I mean, yeah, LT would have made it look a little badass though. I actually, if you're talking about Chargers like throwback jerseys, like I said, I think I brought up earlier that like light blue one. I think that one might be honestly better.
let me ask you guys just a real quick question. I know we're like getting to the end here, but do you guys think white helmets are a good look for any team? I personally don't think white helmets are a good look.
This don't make sense. Most helmets, for that matter, at least. Like only I think a few teams could probably rock it, but not really. No.
White helmets should only go with white jerseys.
You think the Cardinals should have a white helmet?
No,
I don't think so either.
The only scenario I see is that Dallas Thanksgiving jersey, but I don't even think they use that anymore. So maybe like I really don't know, honestly. Like who has a more of a white color in their jerseys that I can think about?
Like, so the only teams with white helmets are the Chargers, the Cardinals. Let me think. No one in our division.
The Falcons have a white one.
The throwback. Are you talking about throwback?
The throwback. Yeah.
I mean, not known in the East, on the South.
Colts, maybe. Colts are probably the only team that can rock one because it works. Like they've been doing that. I'm okay with them doing it, but I wouldn't be opposed to them in a white. Think about the Colts with the blue helmet and a white horseshoe. That'd be kind of sick.
Yeah, I see it.
All right.
Ahmed, do you know what I forgot to do? You remember when you mentioned the Cleveland Brown logo last week?
Oh,
and like how the Russian doll thing. I was gonna put it together and send it to you.
Yeah,
but I totally forgot.
All right.
I'll end up
let
doing
me do that at the end. Let me do it at the end when we do this. I'm gonna give my whole Cleveland Browns thing.
Oh man. All right. But no, I see we say like mid.
Yeah, mid.
That's the one. Right. Dion, I love Dion.
Dion, Atlanta.
Good play good, baby. I put great. I like it. You know, I like the helmets. You know, the color design. Like I like the font of the numbers as well. Like it's kind of out there. It's a little like bright and big. So yeah, I'll go great.
I think the logo is too big for the helmet. I think when they redesigned the helmet logo, they went too far with the jersey. They should have kept the jersey the same, rather than like fucking with the helmet too much. They fucked with the jersey too much rather than the helmet. But I like the new logo, but I like this jersey better. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think with the logo being bigger, I think that's what makes it good. Like I like how the wing comes down to the face mask, and I like the bold white lettering. And plus, this is the Dirty Bird era. You know, this is a classic to me. But I'm willing to throw it in gray if y'all are cool with that.
I'm good with that.
So here's the final product. I wouldn't change anything about it. I think this is pretty solid. I should have threw more on here. I think that there's a lot of other good ones, but I think this is good for now.
I think we did good.
Talk about it.
I mean, I think it looks good.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we'll probably look at it tomorrow and be like, yeah, we could change a couple here or there. Jay, can you do one thing? Can you pull up the Browns logo and jersey real quick? Yeah, I'm just going to talk you guys through this because the Browns as a franchise, we all know they're garbage.
Terrible.
They're named after Paul Brown, who is now he became the owner of the Cincinnati Bengals, if I'm mistaken.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, the Bengals.
And the stadium that the Cincinnati Bengals play in is Paul Brown Stadium. So you have a team named after a player. Brown,
looks like a Little Caesars logo. What the hell?
I mean, either way, right? Look at that. Like that dog pound logo is better than anything that the Browns have ever put together.
Imagine this. Oh my God.
That shit scares me.
Yeah. So when you go, if you ever watch a Cleveland Browns game, look at that's better than what
that is actually.
I mean,
wow.
That's arena football league.
Look at this shit.
That's
no,
it.
Look at yo.
We did it. Okay, here we go.
What the fuck?
This is my point. So this is what I want to do. Okay, so when you watch a Cleveland Browns game, like on Sunday Ticket or whatever, they have their logo is literally their helmet on the field. If you look at like the players, the hats, it has a logo of the helmet. The helmet is the orange helmet, right? So I was thinking, so what if if you put the helmet logo on the helmet itself, right? They didn't stop here though, because then you have to put the helmet inside the helmet.
No, you're just gonna keep going until the end of time or something.
The Russian doll, you will never find an
Oh my
end.
fucking
Infinity.
God.
It's infinity.
Why is that not a bad idea? What the hell? Is it just late, or is this like not a dumb idea? What the hell? What? Why would you? Okay.
This is one of the ideas when you like, you know, you smoke.
What kind of shit did you just come up with? What the?
It's wild.
That's like fucking crazy.
Like
it's like ongoing.
If you try to embroider that on like a jersey or something,
that's a bitch. That's gonna be a bitch to put together, though.
Dude. Trying to get all that in.
No, that's gonna be a bitch. Like, dude, put it like on a shirt or like the actual make it itself.
Dude, that's so much better than like half the logos in football.
Yo, I'm telling you, these like literally these Twitter graphic designers are so much better than half these NFL teams. Like the shit I've seen these people come up with is honestly insanity. Like they gotta start hiring these dudes. I've seen crazy ass logos for certain teams that look so much better. It's an orange helmet. Come on, it's an orange helmet.
The team is the Browns.
What makes it funny though.
I mean, you
the Browns.
I mean, I get it, but it's like, what about the bulldog? Like that looks badass. Like I used to play flag football, and my dad would like have signs and stuff. We wouldn't even use the Browns logo. We would just use like a bulldog or something because it looks more cooler. Like the Browns logo is just dumb as hell.
Yeah,
like, that is even. I didn't even think about that. Like,
this, you know, like
that is that dog is like terrifying.
Any of that is better than what they have.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, even if you got like a stick, I feel like that'd be better than that right now.
This is like
that
a high
feels
school
like an NFL logo right there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that little bulldog on a helmet?
These graphic designers are something.
This one is Ohio. This is a Ohio logo right here.
Yeah.
With like the football stitches right here. Come on.
Yeah, that's tight. That's tight.
I mean, shit, even this one.
Yeah.
If you want to keep the helmet in it, yeah.
And then
but your idea is like so goddamn funny. Like I'm gonna put that together though. I mean, shit, if they got fancy with it, you know, make it like a little 3D sort of thing. Oh god, yeah, this fucking team. Let's get out of that.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ask my homie who's a graphic designer. I'm gonna be like, how many helmets can you go and do that into the actual helmet? I'm gonna ask him if he can.
I guess it's like probably 10 or something until it just gets repetitive.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 8. I think 8 is the limit.
8. If you could fit 8 in there, like they had like that one that we just saw, they had the helmet a little like you have to kind of increase the size on it so you can fit as many in it as possible. Like like that's the joke. So like he kind of had it a little small, so you won't be able to throw a bunch in there. But I don't know if you guys are tired or not. I don't know if y'all wanted to address Kenobi real quick.
Oh man, it's late, bro.
Let's
save it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are about to do this again, but I'll for sure hop on if y'all want. We can talk about that for a little bit because I'm about, like I said, I'm on 1% battery life right now. I'm about to my bed's right next to me. I'm like literally throwing off my headset. I'm just throwing myself in my bed. Like I'm about to be I'm tired as hell.
I can hear you eyeballing it right now. Looking at it.
No, I'm looking at it right now. My blanket's like half open right now. Like I'm using Alexa to turn my lights and everything. Like I'm not even like physically going up to my lights. Like I'm too tired for that.
Man, this was a great show. Thank you, Specs, for joining us. We will have you back.
Of course, I love being on these. To be honest.
Yeah, like you have an open invitation anytime you want to come on and spit some shit. Be my guest, especially on this new Branch Off show. We'll have you back next week, and we can address Kenobi. I saw Black Phone, the new Blumhouse film with Ethan Hawke. I recommend watching it. Blumhouse got a dub on this one. Usually they miss, but this one was really good. We can address all the TV shows and stuff that are coming up. Stranger Things is coming out July 1st.
Yeah.
Love and Thunder is coming out July 8th.
Volume 1 was good as hell, but we can talk about that then because, all right.
Yeah, as if nothing happens in NBA or NFL, I think next episode we'll just keep it TV and movie related, so we could just crank through that. But
when would the next episode be?
Between Friday and Sunday, we're really loose with how we pick it. It comes down to what works for me and Amit for the most part. So, like, it's really whenever. We can even do it in the middle of the week if we wanted to. But Amit, any closing words before we get out of here?
No, man. I'm spent. I'm just saying. I'm really focused now on doing a theoretical on that Cleveland Browns Russian doll experiment. I'm gonna have my boy look into it for me.
Well, tell him to do it. Don't tell him to look into it.
Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see this. And you know what? I might print it out and like put it on a shirt or something.
Hey, imagine that on the field too. Like they do it on the field with like the logo game.
There's no way. They can maybe do like 3. I think they can maybe do 3 on a field.
Yeah, because remember you got to put those on every single helmet. Like I would not.
That fucks it up too. Like what Specs? Any closing words before you get out here, or where they can find you?
Just look up SpexMedia. I'm sure you can find me. But yeah, that's honestly about it. I'm too tired to say anything else.
Thank you again for everybody showing up. Again, thank you, Amit. Thank you, Specs, for joining us tonight.
Yep.
This is a wrap for episode 4. No outro. We're gonna close out. Just normal. But thank you again for coming out. Like, subscribe, donate to the Anchor. Check us out on the regular He's on Fire pod when Evan gets back. Well, he's back at his house, but it's his wife's birthday and stuff. So
sugar.
Shout out to Evan's wife. Happy birthday.
Yeah, shout out to Evan.
Hey, yeah, shout out to Evan too. But thank you again, everybody that came out tonight. It was really fun. Thank you, Specs. Thank you, Amit. Have a blessed weekend, and just love. Just show people respect. Don't dictate people's lives. Be the best person you can possibly be. If you're a parent, teach your kid good morals. Don't raise them to be a dick and be.
Yes, please.
Yeah, like we already have enough of those. We have idiots in the Supreme Court, and then in office, and all just everywhere. Your boss, your fucking neighbor, wherever. So just raise your kids right. Like, stop being so clouded. Learn, read, and just be respectful to everybody. And your life doesn't revolve around the world. Everybody's lives are connected in some sort of way. You can't dictate that. So you live your life. Don't dictate other people's. But thank you again for everybody coming out. Much love. Follow us on Twitters. And have a good one.
Yep.
Guys.
Peace out, y'all.
Love y'all.
Love you.
All right. Take care, man.